Hey there riders, Moto Journo Kris here, and there's been exciting news out of KTM today in the form of the RC8C, a new prototype racer that will soon be available, looking both exceptionally cool and built around the Duke 890R engine. In a move which seems focused on ease of maintenance and parts, while still offering a hard-edged racing or track machine off the showroom floor. Pre-orders for this limited edition racer will open July 22, or tomorrow, with a fairly hefty price tag of $38,999 US. However, there will just be 100 of these produced worldwide, so there seems little doubt they'll be snapped up quickly by enthusiastic racers and fans alike in much the same way the 450 Rally replica sold out. KTM are describing this bike as the opportunity for amateur track riders to get a taste of what it's like Grand Prix racing, without needing the specialist team or the extensive maintenance and upkeep bill associated with it. However, I reckon there won't be anything amateur about the riders laying down the dosh to pick up one of these machines. I guess that just depends if you consider anyone who isn't a GP racer an amateur though. So what's almost $40,000 US get you? The package is 140 kilos dry, producing 128 horsepower and 101 Newton meters of torque, with dedicated airbox, exhaust system and bespoke trellis frame, backed by WP Pro suspension, and all the features you'd expect on a real race machine. Compared to the 890 Duke R, that's a gain of almost 10 horsepower, a couple of Newton meters of torque, and managing to knock 26 kilos off the dry weight figure, while adding fairings. Granted, this is not a road bike, so there's a lot of opportunities to strip off weight, but it's still impressive. The LC8 engine from the 890 Duke R is run as mentioned, and the differences mentioned are breathing or the air intake and engine management, so essentially the same production engine with a specially developed airbox including twin air filters and a ram air intake where the tank would traditionally be. Instead, the tank has been moved and integrated into the subframe, which is all one unit with a tail mounted fuel cap instead. The benefit, according to KTM, is centralizing and lowering the weight of the bike, while a click-on fuel connector allows easy draining of the tank. Fuel capacity of that tank is 16 litres. Expelling air, at least exhaust fumes, is the special exhaust system by Kramer Motorcycles in stainless steel, capped off with a titanium Akropovich muffler with carbon end cap, and as a nod to those living under barbaric sound limitations, a different 98 decibel muffler can be ordered separately if required. The chassis side of things is much more trick, with that chromoly steel tubular or trellis frame, as we also call it, mated to a set of WP Apex Pro 7543 forks, Apex Pro 7746 shock, and joined by an Apex Pro 7117 steering damper, which apparently is the same unit run by WP supported racing teams. Naturally, suspension is fully adjustable with an internal pressurized reservoir in the forks, as well as no hydraulic stroke limitation, and a split or separate function design for compression and rebound adjustment is found on the top of the fork legs. The shock, on the other hand, offers separate high and low speed compression and rebound settings with a fancy looking external reservoir and preload adjuster. The steering head angle is 66.7 degrees with a degree of adjustability each way in half-degree increments, while trail is 98.6mm with a 1400mm wheelbase. Clip-ons offer a wide range of adjustability alongside 3 positions for the foot pegs. Even the ride height can be adjusted between 2 positions and via the shock unit with length adjustment, while fork offset can be set between 26 or 28mm. Both bars and foot controls are CNC machined units with a Brembo Radial RCS19 master cylinder fitted that offers 3 different settings of engagement, with top end stylema calipers also fitted and mated to 290mm floating rotors. Not the biggest rotors by any means, but this is one seriously light machine with very powerful calipers. The rear runs a 230mm rotor and 2-piston Brembo caliper in comparison in a fairly run-of-the-mill setup, although the wheels are Dimag lightweight forged aluminium UP7X units with a 3.5 inch front and 6 inch rear, both 17 inch of course. Standard tyres will be the Pirelli Diablo Superbike racing slicks as you'd expect on such a track and race orientated machine. As far as tech, there's a full factory AIM MXS 1.2 race dashboard and data logger including GPS with a 5-inch TFT display including data recording, which can be set up to the rider's individual needs including displaying ECU settings and lap performance. AIM Race Studio is also part of the package if you've got a pit team who want to track that data. Now the KTM RC 8C prototype is one seriously stripped back machine. It's fair to say it's the absolute basics of what you need compared to a road machine, which is evident in the images provided, while still offering an impressive level of specification for everything that is included. The engine looms in that KTM orange frame, and it looks like a polished version of what you'd see in a serious track day rider or racer's garage, with inspiration from the R16 carrying that iconic KTM look onto the RC 8C. Fairings are quick release, lightweight GRP units for easy maintenance, and hopefully it won't break the bank to replace them, with serious track day riding of course meaning crashing unfortunately. As such, KTM have incorporated a number of features to help protect the bike for when that eventuates, with crash posts on the frame, crash pads on the forks and swing arm, plus footrest. The tank likewise has protection for the event of a crash, which would make sense as you wouldn't want to have to replace the subframe and tank all in one too often. In carbon fibre is the front guard, which can be easily swapped out thanks to a quick change system, while there's also a carbon winglet under the swing arm, alongside the much more prominent winglets which can be seen at the front of the bike on the nose in eye-catching carbon fibre. Obviously you won't be taking the RC 8C down to the shops, it's a pure track machine with no lights, and the price tag of $38,999 US makes for a fairly exclusive possible group of purchases, being far more expensive than something like the Honda Fireblade SP, and even more track orientated than Triumph's Moto 2 Daytona 675, both of which are at the end of the day road machines. It speaks to KTM's ready to race motto that with this machine they just went all out on a track machine. It also aligns with Stephan Pierre's earlier comments that the brand won't be making a street superbike, at the time stating such powerful machines only belong on a closed course. That hasn't stopped them offering the 1290 Super Duke, which of course sits awfully close to that 200 horsepower figure he was talking about, at least in terms of performance. But then the other fairly obvious trend in motorcycles has been away from superbike or supersport machines, with Yamaha's R6 becoming track only moving forward as well. Perhaps that's a trend we'll see more moving forward, with more specialised track and race only machinery being created with less compromises as a result, but it's hard to see that being enough to stave off the nanny states which want to ban everything, for people's own safety of course. So what do you think of KTM's RC 8C Racer? Is the brand moving with the times and ahead of the ball game, or do you still want a road registerable supersport from KTM that sits well above the RC 390? Let me know in the comments, and as always, stay safe out there and thanks for watching.